weeks ago, I had a beautiful dream. And thank God I had it, because without it, I wouldn't know how to start this talk. It was about me in a park, and I was all confused. And suddenly I hear this kid saying, "Ugh, can you imagine they used to eat animals?" I got even more confused, so I stood up, we start walking, and I see tons of families having picnics with balloons and t-shirts saying Earth Day, which we know it's April 22nd. But this time, it seemed as important as Independence Day in whatever country you want to think of. Well, actually, I think it was exactly that, Independence Day for Earth. It was in this utopian city where everything was sustainable and cruelty-free. This new lifestyle where there were greener alternatives everywhere. To make myself clear, garbage trucks passed once a month because there was no garbage to pick up anymore. Simply breathtaking. But as nice as it was, the dream had to end and reality took its place. Now, reality doesn't look that good for the environment. We are currently living in the midst of the sixth mass extinction since 4.4 million years ago. Although there's been 5 more, this is the first mass extinction occasioned by unnatural consequences. Since the first industrial revolution, or even before that, humanity has teamed up and together we've collaborated to kill, pollute, and destroy nature. The Arctic is feeling the effects the most. Can you imagine the Arctic with no ice? By 2040, it's going to have its first complete ice-free summer. The sad thing is that indigenous cultures and polar bears are already suffering so much from sea ice loss. And what about Montana's National Glacier Park? Today, it has 27 glaciers versus 150 it had back in 1910. Think of that difference. The levels of CO2 have been the highest in the 21st century since 600,000 years ago, and more than 1 million species have already faced extinction due to this problem, because climate change does not simply increase the temperatures of the planet, but it leads to a destruction of many habitats and ecosystems. And can somebody tell me what's with the unnecessary waste of disposable items? 1.5 million birds, fish, whales, and turtles die each year from plastic debris in our oceans. If we continue like this, in 100 years from now, more than 50% of all species are going to be gone. Lucky for us, there is a way out. It's all a result of excessive amount of waste generated at a rate that humanity can't keep up to anymore. And this is reality. It's not a bad dream we can wake up from or a movie. We have still incoherent people saying that these facts are not true, such as Mr. Donald Trump, president of the leading country in waste, making fun about it on live TV and asking for some of that global warming, please. I believe that this lack of awareness is the real problem. Now, I want you to imagine how I felt when I started acknowledging this version of reality. At first, I could barely look at myself in the mirror. All I could think of is, you are guilty of this. But I wanted to do something about it. I wanted to make a change, and guess how I felt next? Completely useless. How could a 17-year-old girl living in a city no one has ever heard of make a positive change that could impact a problem of such magnitude? Well, let me tell you that the world is changed by the example. As insignificant you think inaction could be. Do any of you know when is the best time to plant a tree? 10 years ago is the correct answer. The second best answer is today. The least I can do now is speak out for what can and for those who can. Even though there's a lot of people who are already aware of the planet situation, they simply don't care. We know we need to avoid pollution, to reduce waste, to be compassionate for animals, and what we do is the exact opposite. Why do you like contributing into killing the one thing that allows you to exist? I mean, look around. Everything you could possibly think of is given to you by Mother Nature. You're here alive today because nature let you be here. Through the atmosphere, plants, oceans, trees, and animals. And in return, what do we give? You pollute our atmosphere, pollute our oceans, destroy natural habitats along with the animals, cut extensive areas of forest, and ignore reality. This is why we are now in a period of consequences, one that has to be put to an end before it ends us. But we are also in this period of changes, of actions, so it's time to make a global team again and counteract the damage we've made with so much desire for our own sake, for humanity's sake, and for the planet's sake. Mother Earth is screaming for help, and you could be the one to give that help. Don't you dare just turn your back on it. Little actions, such as reducing plastic at home, school, or work, reducing your carbon footprint by walking, taking the bike, or taking the bus, changing your feeding habits, or just by asking your friends and family to join you into this new lifestyle could be the baby steps into the massive change we desperately need. The common goal is to reduce the ecological footprint, and the easiest way to do that is if we all cooperate. And I believe that this is the solution, cooperation from all of us. In this way, it is easy to make a change, because you could do one step at a time, one change at a time, because it won't take you lots of time, you don't need any money for it, and if you search correctly, you'll always find someone who could guide you through it. And I promise that this new lifestyle, this new search for better alternatives is always a beautiful challenge. Dr. Jane Goodall said that the small choices we make today can lead to the kind of world we all want for the future. Now allow me to ask you something. Do any of you believe dreams can come true?
Yes.
Yes.
How would the world be if we were all moved by the culture of being change makers, caring for the environment and for humanity itself? I totally believe my dream, the one I told you about, can come true. With teamwork and with love, we could give that opportunity to future generations. Being here today is the first step, and the first step is the hard part, trust me. So let's be brave, and let's be kind, and help more than less. Thank you.